Villisca, Iowa, in 1912, was the kind of town where nobody locked their doors. It was a tight-knit community where everyone knew everyone. But on the morning of June 10th, that innocence was shattered forever. Someone had waited in the dark. Someone who didn't break in, but simply hid in the attic while an entire family and 2 young house guests went to sleep. Welcome to the Forgotten Dark Crimes. Today, we look at a crime so brutal it remains one of America's most terrifying unsolved mass murders, the Villisca Axe Murders. It was 7 a.m. The neighbor, Mary Peckham, noticed the Moore family house was completely silent. No chores were being done, no smoke from the chimney. She knocked, but the doors were locked from the inside. Worried, she called Josiah Moore's brother, Ross. Ross arrived with a spare key. He opened the door and stepped into the pitch-black house. All the curtains were drawn tight. As he pushed open the door to the guest bedroom, he saw something that would haunt him for the rest of his life. 2 figures in the bed, covered entirely with bed sheets. Blood stained the pillows. The police were called, and the horror only deepened. Upstairs, Josiah, his wife Sarah, and their 4 children were found in the exact same state, bludgeoned in their sleep with Josiah's own axe. But it was the strange ritualistic details left behind that truly chilled investigators. The killer didn't just murder the family, they performed a bizarre post-mortem ritual. Every mirror and window in the house was covered with clothing. At the foot of Josiah and Sarah's bed, the killer had left the murder weapon, the axe, wiped partially clean. Next to it, a 4-pound slab of bacon. But the most terrifying discovery was in the attic. Police found 2 cigarette butts and a dent in the floorboards. The killer had been in the house while the family was awake. They waited in the dark attic, listening to the children laugh, listening to the family eat dinner, waiting patiently for everyone to fall asleep. The town descended into paranoia. Vigilante groups formed. Dozens of suspects were named. There was Frank Jones, a rival businessman who hated Josiah. There was Reverend George Kelly, a traveling preacher who confessed to the murders, claiming God told him to slay utterly, but his confession didn't match the evidence, and he was acquitted. More than a century later, the house still stands. Some say it's haunted, but the true ghost is the killer who walked out the front door, locked it behind them, and vanished into history. Who do you think hid in the attic that night? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Hit subscribe if you want the stories nobody talks about.